Hey everyone, it's Stu here from 3B, and today I'm going to talk very briefly about Half-Life Alyx. The Half-Life continuation, sequel, prequel, midquel? Is there a midquel? Because apparently Half-Life Alyx is set between Episode 1 and Episode 2. So even though it's not Episode 3, to most of us, to the majority of us, me included, I was kind of seeing this as Half-Life 3, even though technically in the timeline it's sort of in between the 1 and 2. So, who's in it? Well, we've got Alyx Vance, and at the very end of the trailer we get G-Man as well. I didn't see any other characters that I recognized from Half-Life 1 or 2. So if any of you sort of spotted any other characters, I thought perhaps I saw Alyx Vance's dad. I would imagine, Dr. Ellie Vance. I'm sure that we would probably see him, but I'm not too sure if I saw him in the trailer or not. I don't think I did. So there's a pretty strong chance, I would imagine, being Alyx Vance's dad, that he would make an appearance. And of course we saw the G-Man at the very end. There was no mention or inkling of Gordon Freeman, and it took me a while to figure out what Gordon Freeman's name, and it kept on becoming Morgan Freeman, which is a completely different person. So what do you think? I'm pretty excited by this. I'm curious to see what it would be, but it's a very expensive game. But they are sort of touting this as a AAA VR game rather than an experience. There's no mention, of course, as to how long it would be. I would imagine it's probably around about the 10-hour mark, but a lot of VR games tend not to be beyond that very much. Certainly if it's a story-driven one. The exception to that is Asgard's Wrath, of course, which is huge, and I'm still playing that. So my hope is it's as long as Asgard's Wrath, but I don't think that they would have put that much time and money into it. Although they've had an awful long time with the VR equipment. They were one of the very first supporters of VR. If you remember when sort of the Oculus first started to make an appearance on Kickstarter and what have you, Steam were very supportive of that. So it makes, they've probably had an awful long time to work with this. So my hope is that they've really refined it, and they've created a storyline that's as compelling as Half-Life 2. I kind of forget about the episodes that happened after that. There was episode 2, wasn't there, or something? I never really got into that. I couldn't get into that. It felt like a cop-out to me. Yeah, so what do you think? Are you excited by it? Are you sort of taken aback by the price of it a little bit? Because it is around about, £50, $50. So, it's a fair old whack, but it is meant to be a AAA game. My hope is that it draws more people into VR as well. There is that opportunity, I think, because Half-Life is such an iconic game. And even though it's 12 years or more since it was out, and I remember playing it and being wowed by it, and there's just a whole generation almost that haven't even weren't around then, weren't old enough then to be playing it, that are kind of sucked in, drawn into that myth of what Half-Life 2 was and what it meant. So I have a feeling that it's going to be a huge seller. And there's an awful lot of expectations, so they've got to really handle this really carefully, because it could make a lot of dreams, mine included, sort of crash down and become disappointment. But yeah, we will see. Given how refined a lot of their demos are, you know, we've seen them for the Steam headsets and the other headsets that use the Steam environment to use VR. You know, there's a lot of their demos in that, and of course there's Portal and all those things, and we see how well they work and how polished they are. So my hope is that that continues into Half-Life Alyx and the VR aspects, and they've really worked with that. Given that they've also developed their own VR headset, I would imagine they have an incredible understanding of VR, the other headsets their own, and what makes a great VR experience. But this is a game. This is a AAA game, not an experience. So, yeah, let's just keep calm. Let's keep calm. This could be very exciting. But we've got a few months to wait. Yeah. So, let me know what you think. Do you think this could be something huge? Do you see it yourself as sort of Half-Life 3, or just like one of the episodes of Half-Life? You know, where we had episode 2 and so on after Half-Life 2 and all those sort of little add-on bits. Or do you see it as as what we've been waiting for? For me, jury's hugely out. It's not even come to the court yet, and but we'll wait and see. But it's very exciting. It's most definitely a purchase, pretty much for everyone in VR, and it could be an enormous seller. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's like Christmas in March. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, or don't. Click the bell if you want to be alerted to more videos. And I'll see you next week. Take care.